All right, let's get the mixing bowl out of the way and get started on measuring our ingredients. I'm going to use a regular bowl since I don't have any souffle cups here. And our first ingredient is a half a cup of butter, which is 1 stick of butter. So I will put that in my bowl, move it off to the side here. You guys will have a tray when you're getting your ingredients, and I don't think this is going to work because my bowls are a little bit too big, so I am not going to use a tray. I'm just going to use my counter space here and put my stuff, line it up in order. So the next thing I need here is some white sugar. I need a half a cup of white sugar. Break this up a little bit, and I am just going to scoop my half a cup measuring cup into the sugar because it is already dense and it doesn't matter if I just scoop it. So I'm going to use the flat edge of my rubber spatula to level this off since I don't have a butter knife handy. And there we go, half a cup of white sugar into my cup, or my bowl. Close this up so I don't spill it. And we'll move on to our next ingredient, which is a half a cup of packed brown sugar. Let's get this open here without spilling it all over. There we go. All right, so I need the half cup measuring cup. Just dip that right in here, and I'm going to use the side of the bag and the palm of my hand to pack the brown sugar in. When you guys are doing this at school with the container, please don't use the container to pack it in, the side of the container, because the handles are not heavy duty and they will bend and break off. So please use a spoon or your hand or something to pack it in. All right, let's get the rubber spatula. Use the straight edge to level this off back into the package. Hopefully I don't get it all over. There we go. All right, let's see how we did. Perfect. No air bubbles, nice and packed, solid half cup. All right, let's get this closed up again so it doesn't spill all over the place. And take a look and see what we have next. We need 1 egg. All right, let me head over to the refrigerator here and grab an egg. You can say hi to my puppy dog Oakley there, sitting watching the backyard for squirrels. She'll be back on duty in a second as soon as she checks to see what I'm doing. All right, put my egg here in the bowl, set that aside, and see what we have next. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. All right, here's my small measuring cup, or my small cup to put that in. Here are my measuring spoons, and I need a 1 teaspoon. All right, let's get 1 teaspoon and grab my vanilla. There we go. Open that up. And I'm gonna measure this over my little bowl here, just in case it overflows like it just did. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to put this in another bowl and put that aside and put my extra back in the bottle and put the lid on that. Okay, the lid's on. We'll set that off to the side so it doesn't spill. Let's see what our next ingredient is. All right, so I grabbed another small bowl for my next ingredient, which is baking soda, seeing as I used an extra one for the vanilla. All right, my baking soda is not open. I have a fresh box and my scissors are not over here. So let me go grab them and open this box up so I can easily measure out the baking soda. One thing that's nice about the box of baking soda is that once you have it open, you can just use the box itself up on top there to level off your measuring spoons. So I'm going to get my half a teaspoon. There we go, half a teaspoon of baking soda. Get a whole full teaspoon, and then I'm going to use the top of the box there to level it off. There we go. And put it right in my small little bowl here. There we go. Off to the side. And I'll put my baking soda off to the side. All right, next up we need 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Let me grab the salt and bring it over. All right, open that up and looking for my 1/8 teaspoon. I do not have one, but I have a 1/4 teaspoon, and half of 1/4 is 1/8. Nope, half of a fourth is 1/8. So basically I need half of that. Well, it just so happens that 1/8 is also equal to a pinch in the culinary world. But my pinch is not necessarily a full 1/8 of a teaspoon like it should be. So I'm going to measure off this 1/4 teaspoon, get that out of the way, and put that in my hand, which has some dried vanilla from opening the bottle on it. So let me go over here and wash that off. So again, a pinch of an ingredient, like a pinch of salt, is equal to 1/8 teaspoon of salt. We don't have a 1/8 teaspoon, so I've taken the 1/4 teaspoon and measured that out, leveled it off with some salt, and I'm going to show you how to measure the 1/8 teaspoon and also how to properly size up a pinch of an ingredient. So let me make sure my hand is fully dried off there with my paper towel so the salt doesn't dissolve in my palm. And we are ready to go. All right, here we go. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Half of that is what we need. Don't have the 1/8 teaspoon. Pouring it in my palm, and I'm going to use that teaspoon to divide this amount in half. 1/4 teaspoon of salt being separated and divided into two pretty much equal parts. So there we could take half of that and scoop it into an ingredient bowl, and that would be our 1/8 of a teaspoon. All right, that's what you guys can do in the classroom when we are measuring your 1/8 of a teaspoon. Just take half of 1/4, just like this, and you will be good. So there we go. I've got the salt measured out, baking soda, vanilla. What's next? I need some flour. All right, so I'm done with the measuring spoons. Let me put them off to the side. Get some all-purpose flour is what we're going to use. I want to clean up my area a little bit first. Get myself ready here, organize my cups, grab a bowl for my flour. Open this up, and I need a cup and a half. Do I have a spoon in the drawer? I do not. So let me grab my wooden spoon from over here. This will work for me. Just mix this up. As long as I get it light and fluffy and not compacted into my measuring cups, I will be good to go. So here we go. Adjust my camera a little bit, and let's spoon in my flour into my 1 cup. I'm just taking heaping spoonfuls of flour and putting it in there. Not trying to delicately and evenly get it 1 cup because I want this to overflow. And then I will level it off with the straight edge of my wooden spoon here. Back it up to fill in any of the gaps I might have. And level it off right back into the flour bin. Well, as much as I could. There we go. Get that all out of there. And I need a half a cup more. Let's put this in the cup. Seem to have gotten a little bit of flour around the edges on the outside. Trying to keep my area clean. Doesn't always happen when you've got a small area to level back off into. There we go. Cup and a half of flour. Beautiful. Alright, so let's try and get this flour back in here. Lids on so it doesn't spill. Alright. There we go. Get that moved out of the way. My flour up top. Let's get some of this flour out of the way. Keep my area clean. Put that into my little extra bin over there, or extra cup that I'm not going to use anymore. Now I just need a half a cup of chocolate chips. And again, my bag is not open, so I'm going to have to go grab my scissors again. Now you want this to be really, really whipped up and mixed up good. It actually says beat on medium for 3 to 4 minutes, and I literally want you to do that. I want this to be whipped up and light and fluffy and creamy. All right. So scrape the sides of your bowl and put the paddle attachment back in there and put that on about a 4 and whip that up for another couple of minutes at least. I'm going to keep going here. All right. Well, I think I got it as best I can here. I've got it whipped up pretty good. I'll show you here. Yours probably whipped up a little bit more, but as you can see, it's incorporated and fluffy. Next, we're going to add the egg. All right, to show you quick how to crack the egg. You don't want to tap it on the side of the bowl or on the side of a pan like that. You will want to find a nice smooth flat surface, and you don't want to just ding 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 tap it on the surface. You want to give it a solid thump on the surface so you get a little indent like that. Put your thumbs in there and push in gently. There are a couple membranes in the egg that we'll study about, these outer membranes that hold everything together. You want to just break through there and crack the egg open and allow that membrane to still hold on to the shells so that the shells don't fall into the egg. All right, you can see they're still kind of stuck on here, sticking together, but that's what helps you not get your egg cracked into, or the shell cracked into your egg. All right, so there we go. Now I have got egg all over my hands, so I need to go wash them off real quick. But if you'll notice, we have the 1 egg cracked into the bowl. If you need 2 eggs or more, you want to crack 1 at a time into the bowl. Okay? You are going to add your eggs 1 at a time so that they get mixed fully into your dough or batter. All right? And you put them into a bowl first, just in case there's something wrong with the egg. You don't ruin your whole everything you've worked on so far. So here, let me add this egg in here, get it all out of the bowl, and there we go. Set this off to the side. Notice I'm cleaning up as I go. You guys should be doing the same to keep your work area nice and clean. All right, now we need to mix in your egg and your vanilla. Let me just get all of this cleaned off here. Mix in a little bit of this just to incorporate that egg. Then I will get my vanilla in here. Just get this going a little bit. All right. Yep, it is the vanilla. Put that right in here. Set that off to the side. And now you're going to want to give this a good mix. Definitely not as long as you did the butter sugar mixture. You just want to make sure you get the egg fully incorporated into this. And this is actually called the creaming method. All right, the butter, the sugars, the eggs, this is the creaming method for baking. All right, so we've got our eggs, vanilla, both sugars, and our butter all mixed together in this light, fluffy, airy kind of mixture here. We're just trying to get as much air into there as we can to keep this light and fluffy. You'll notice that the color has lightened up. Mine is a lot lighter than yours because I used a light brown sugar. But even on yours, you'll notice that the color did get lighter from when you had first started to mix the sugars and the butter. All right, so now you need to remove the mixing bowl from the mixer. All right, I'm going to show you guys how to set up the mixer and everything on the day of the event of the lab. So for now, don't worry so much about it, but your bowl does lock in place on the mixer. You're going to want to make sure you have it locked in place before you get it started up. So now you would need to unlock it, which is just giving it a turn. Okay, let's wait, let myself catch up here. So you're going to give the bowl just a slight turn, about 1/4 of the way, and that should unlock the bowl for you. Again, like I said, I will go over the mixer operations real quick on the day of the lab just so that you guys have an idea of what's going on. All right. All right, so you've got your bowl unlocked, moved out on the counter, move your mixer out of the way so you've got room, and we are going to look at our instructions here, and using a rubber spatula, fold in your dry ingredients until most of the flour is mixed in. All right, so my dry ingredients. I've got my baking soda. I'm going to add it right to my flour. And I've got my salt. Add that right to the flour. Get it all out of here. All right, just going to give it a quick little mix. Bloop, 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 bloop. There we go. And dump that all into my bowl. Fully empty that bowl out. And get back here with my rubber spatula and fold in the flour. All right, any of you guys ever watched the series Schitt's Creek? Well, in there, one of the characters, Moira, is cooking with her son David, and they're making some type of a cheese fondue or cheese enchiladas or something. But they're cooking at the stove and they need to fold in the cheese. And neither one of them knows how to fold any type of ingredient, so it's kind of funny. But at any rate, whenever I have to fold something in a recipe, I always think of that. So that's my little story. But here's how to correctly fold in an ingredient. You slice down the middle and run your spatula along the bottom and fold it over. Then you give your bowl about 1/4 of a turn and do the same thing. Go through the middle of your ingredients, scrape down to the bottom of the bowl, and fold your ingredients over. And you just keep doing that. Make sure you get the sides of the bowl, cutting down through the middle and folding over. All right, we just spent all this time, and in my case, muscle, whipping that ingredients to be light and fluffy, all my wet ingredients. I don't want to just simply stir this in and take out all that airy lightness that I've already incorporated. So folding the flour in helps preserve some of that light and fluffiness. We also don't want to overmix the flour because there is something in flour called gluten. All right? The longer we mix flour, the stronger that gluten becomes. All right, so just finishing up here. Last scoops of our cookie dough. Try and get this all in place. Let's see if I have enough for one more. I think I do. There we go. A little bit hanging out on the sides here. Let me grab that. All right, so we are good to go. We've got our half sheet pan and our cookie sheet all set to go in the oven. Let me grab my oven mitts here, or hot pads, whatever you want to call them. I'm going to put both of those on. And I'll get this oven door opened up. And I'm going to put this one in there on the one shelf and my half sheet pan on the next shelf. Close that door up. And our notes say to bake the medium ones at 10 to 11 minutes. All right, I am going to set a timer for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I am going to check my cookies and I'm going to take them out, turn the pan around, and switch shelves. So whatever's on the bottom shelf will go on the top shelf will go on the bottom shelf, and they each get turned around so that the back cookies are at the front and the front cookies are at the back. All right, so that was our quick 5 minutes. I need to get my oven mitts here, get my dog out of the way. Little Oaks, go on. And we are going to pull these out. I'm going to take my bottom sheet pan first, give it a 180 turn. Oops, sorry, it's out of the frame here, but then I'm going to take my other cookie sheet, give that a turn 180, and then put that on the bottom rack. Grab my sheet pan, or half sheet pan, and put that on the top rack. I've already turned that one around. Close this back up. And now those cookies, they're getting done pretty fast. So I'm going to leave those in for maybe another 3 minutes. I'm not going to go a full another 5 because I don't want them to be burnt. I would rather check them and then add some time on rather than leave them in there too long and have them burn. So that's what we're going to do. We'll see you back in 3 minutes. All right, so our 3 minutes are up. Well, let's take a look at these cookies. Get my hot mitts on here. Just going to pull one of the pans out. I'm going to grab this top one. I'm going to close the door back up again. I don't want to let all the heat out. The longer that door stays open, the more heat comes out. I'm looking for the edge of these cookies to be brown. I want the edge to start turning brown, and these look like they got a little ways to go. So I'm going to put them back in for maybe another 2 minutes. All right, let's take a look in this window now. See how these are coming. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to look in the window though. I don't want to keep opening the door if I don't have to. Again, I don't want to let the heat in and out. Every time I open it, all that heat that comes out, then the oven has to heat back up again in order to start cooking the cookies. The more open and close that is, the longer it's going to take the cookies to cook. All right, so that's why I'm stalling here and kind of rambling on a little bit to let the cookies cook a little bit more. And now let's give them a check. Oh, look at that. I don't know if you can see on the camera that nice little golden brown. Yes. All right. I'm going to set these up on the top here. Now, if I keep them on the cookie tray, they are going to keep cooking because that tray is still 300 degrees. All right, so those cookies are going to keep on cooking. I'm going to take these out again. I think you can see the brown on there, maybe even a little bit better on this with that light angle. All right, close the oven back up, turn it off. And, ooh, yes, these are looking really good. All right, got my cooling rack out. I put a towel underneath this one just so that you guys could see it a little bit better. The black cooling rack against the black countertop made it a little hard to see. But there you go. There's my cooling rack. Cooling racks can also look like this, just the straight racks instead of the crisscross. But either way, as long as there's some bottom raised up a little bit so the air can go underneath and cool down your baked goods. All right, let's grab my spatula or turner along with one of my oven mitts. Grab my cookie tray and let's get a couple of these cookies off of here onto my cooling rack. You should have this lab checklist all filled out. What I'd like you to do now is compare within your group, compare your notes and your equipment list, and make sure that you have a complete list of equipment on your head chef's lab checklist, okay? And I want you guys to use the correct terminology, but again, make sure that you have a complete list of equipment on the head chef's lab checklist. Staple all of your groups checklists together with the head chef's one on top, and then you are going to hand those in. Okay, I will take a look at them this afternoon. Make sure you hand them in. If I don't have them handed in, you're not cooking on Wednesday.